Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal match preview time. A competition that you can actually look forward to. Yeah, the Champions League is back and we're looking to make history. We're looking to become the first ever team to win the Champions League without any forward players. Yep, that's the task that we have. That is the task that we have. Do we expect to do it? No, and actually, the way we approached that January transfer window, it looked like they looked at it and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to win the Champions League. Let's just throw away this season." That's how it felt. So it's very hard to be looking forward to games right now. It's very difficult, especially the Premier League games. But we're in February, you still have 3 months to go in the season. It's very hard to just sit there and be like, yeah, you're just waiting for the season to end. We are literally like 4 months away from the transfer window. What are we going to be doing for the next 4 months? It's tough. But in the Premier League, we're in a very tough situation. We're not in a tough situation, you're not 17th, but you're in a tough situation in terms of, when you're like in a position and then, you can't go to the next position and you can't go lower than that. We still need to qualify for the Champions League, but at the moment, for the next 1 month at least, whatever result we have, we're not going to move too fast. We're not going to move to third. So we're just there. Whether we win, whether we lose, we're just going to be there. Unless we lose 5 games in a row and then you're going to drop down. But we are just there in the Premier League. So, and there's going to be an international break. And this weekend, we don't have any FA Cup games. So it really does feel like the season is over. But the Champions League is the only thing we can look forward to. So you're literally previewing a game that is going to be played next month. Although the next month is not that far away. This game is going to be played in around 4 days. But I'm actually looking forward to it because in the Champions League, not the same as the Premier League, I've actually enjoyed the games in the Champions League this season. Looking at a game like Sporting away, that was really fun to watch. You scored a lot of goals, early goals. We were playing some really good football. If you look at PSG at home, the same. You're creating chances. The Monaco game at home was actually the one that we created a lot of chances. That day we missed a lot of one-on-one chances, but we were creating chance after chance after chance. That was a good game. So in the Premier League, in the Champions League, we've enjoyed 5 or 6 of the games out of the 8, apart from the Girona one at the end. We had already qualified. It was a bit boring. But the Champions League has been great. We've had a very good defensive record. We've been scoring goals in those Champions League games. Let's hope that we can continue to do that. So next up, it's PSV in the round of 16. It's been a disaster in the FA Cup. It was a disaster in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. In the Premier League, it's just a sad situation. But if you go out to PSV right now in the round of 16 as well, it would just definitely be a disaster season. It would be completely a disaster season. Now, some would already argue it's already a disaster season, but it's still the Champions League. So let's just hope we first need to beat PSV because we can't go out in this round. This is too early. We cannot literally have if we go out to PSV, there's no need of even players like Saka returning. I'd rather just keep him until the end of the season, let him recover throughout the June, July, and have him fresh for next season. That's how bad it would be. Just don't even bring back those players. But listen, if you beat PSV, you have to go to Madrid to face that Real Atletico without any forward players. We'll see what happens. But first, give us something to look forward to, at least for the second leg. Give us a good result in the first leg, and we can look forward to the second leg. And we can cross match at least. In terms of looking forward to an Arsenal game, or hopefully that will be the case. So PSV against us. What are we expecting? We've played them in the last 2 seasons. We haven't beaten them in Netherlands. They beat us 2 seasons ago, and they had players like Gakpo and Madueke. And last season, we drew with them away from home as well. So this season, what are we going to do? Are we going to get a draw? Are we going to get a win? Are we going to lose? Now, since we came back to the Champions League, their away games have not been great. That is the truth. If you look at last season, Lens away, we lost. Look at FC Porto away, we lost, didn't score. You look at Bayern Munich away, we lost, we didn't score. It hasn't been great. And the only good game that we played was Sevilla away last season. This season as well, we lost to Inter Milan. We had so many opportunities, so many crosses in that game. We didn't score. Atalanta, we didn't lose because Raya saved a penalty. And then Girona one, we won. That was okay. And then, which was the other one? Sporting was a great game, winning that by 5-1. But overall, out of almost 10 games we played away from home in the Champions League since last season, maybe 3 of them have been great performances. So it hasn't been great. But this one has to change. We have the second leg at home, but you don't give yourselves too much to do. PSV don't have a problem scoring goals. They've scored 70 plus goals in their league already this season. So it's a team that can definitely score. They have Bakayoko, they have Luke De Jong, and on top of that, they've just signed Lucas Perez. I don't know what the football gods have planned, but Lucas Perez scoring against us and eliminating us from the Champions League would be very painful. So I don't know what the football gods are planning, but hopefully that is not the case. But they do have players who can score goals. We don't. So we cannot, for example, go there and lose 2-0 and then expect to turn it around at home. It would be impossible to score 3-4 goals right now. It would be very, very impossible. So you're going there. A draw is not bad at PSV. If you go there and get a 0-0 or 1-1, that is not bad. And then you come back at home and try to beat them there. But just don't lose. Just don't lose. I don't think we can be in a position to lose the game. I don't think we are. So big game we have to go through. Listen, imagine if you go and you win the Champions League, no one will even remember the Premier League and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But that is, easier said than done. Without any forward players, it's impossible. Maybe if you had Saka and Martinelli right now fit, you'd be like, okay, let's see what you can go and do in the Madrid teams. But first, PSV. So I have a very interesting lineup, very, very interesting lineup for this game. But first, what I can say is Tierney, get ready. You'll be playing in this game. I don't think you can continue playing a 4-3-3 and all that. 4-3-3, you have to use it when you have capable wingers and a good forward player. Right now, we don't have any of that. Nwaneri is being overplayed. He's playing really well, but he's being overplayed. And, we don't really have a forward player. We didn't create any chances for Marine in the last 2 games. He had the only shot on target in the last game. And then if you look on the left side, Sterling, Trossard has been completely out of form. So we need to do something different. You cannot just continue the same team. You go there and lose 2-0. You cannot do that at all. So I have an interesting lineup. The lineup I would go for in this game to try and get a result. Interesting one. Interesting one. Let me put it like this. So I am going to play a back five. A back five, basically a back 3, back 5, however you want to call it, but with Tierney and Timber overlapping. So that is the lineup I have in terms of the defenders. So Raya obviously starts, and then I'm going to have Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White all starting as the back 3. We have to do something different. We don't have any forward players. We have a lot of defenders. We have to use the players that we have. You can't continue using the poor forward players that you have when you have good defenders. That is what I'd want to see. Now, I was thinking Tierney, Calafiori, Lewis Kelly, because if you play a back 3 with Gabriel supporting on that left side, then maybe you can have Calafiori there. He's had a tough time defending one-on-ones. So maybe having Gabriel behind him is okay. With Calafiori going forward, it's looked very good going forward. Or are you going to have Lewis Kelly there? Or are you going to have Tierney? So I've settled with Tierney because Tierney, in terms of the overlap, because the formation that I have in front, I need Tierney to overlap. So I am playing about 3 Tierney overlapping, and Tierney overlapping and putting in those low crosses sometimes is very, very good at that. Ask him to do that even for 50, 60 minutes, and then you bring in fresh legs, absolutely fine. I've not had Tierney in my starting lineup at all for the last 4 years in any game. So I wasn't even the biggest of his fans. I was very happy with Zinchenko replacing him. I was very happy with Tierney moving on. But he's been one of the players that, he's never complained about anything. He's been one of the good ones over the last 4 or 5 years since we signed him. 2019, he's been one of the good ones. And injuries, he's been very unlucky with injuries. He's still a very good player, especially overlapping and putting in crosses. Is a traditional left back. So I'd have him as the left wing back, have him going forward, and putting in the crosses and supporting that side. Same with Tim on this other side. Now, some could say, listen, have Saliba in the Ben White position, and then have Gabriel in the middle, and then have Calafiori in the left, or Kiwi, and then have Ben White maybe ahead of Timber. But for me, I'm going to have Ben White there and Timber on the right side. Timber will need to do a lot as well, just like Tierney there. But the reason why they have to do a lot is because in the forward areas, this is what I have. Now, you can see Rice and Partey a little bit ahead, but that's not it. I just need Tierney and Partey a little bit behind, as a central defensive midfielder. So I couldn't find a way to edit this, but I'd have Declan Rice more here, and I'd have Partey here. So it's going to be like a 3 and then 2 in front of them. So here in this picture, Rice and Partey a little bit too ahead. I'd need them on the other side of the line. So Rice and Partey here, and then Tierney and Timber going forward. And then over here, you can see I have Nwaneri, Odegaard, and Trossard. Now here it looks like Odegaard and Nwaneri as the wingers, but no, I don't want them as the wingers. So I want Rice and Partey behind here next to Tierney and Timber, and then I'll need Odegaard and Nwaneri basically as 2 number 10s, not wingers, 2 number 10s. I wish there was a way to edit this, but I'd want Odegaard and Nwaneri as 2 number 10s, and then Trossard up front. And then, since we are playing without wingers in this formation, I have Tierney bombing forward, and you can see Odegaard is on the left side in this one. I will need Tierney to provide the width on this side. Now on the right side, it's a little bit different because Nwaneri can still move to the wing positions a few times. Then maybe Timber doesn't have to do as much overlapping as Tierney will need to do on the other side. But that is what I'd do. Gabriel Saliba and Ben White as the center backs, the 3 of them. Tierney overlapping a lot on the left side. Timber overlapping maybe 50% of the game on that right side. And then Rice and Partey holding the midfield. And then Odegaard and Nwaneri as the 2 number 10s. Nwaneri will be drifting a lot more to the right side more than Odegaard will be drifting to the wings. And then Trossard up front. So in this formation, you'll need to be very clever. You'll need to really use Tierney well. Trossard needs to be in the correct positions in the box. Odegaard needs to get in the correct positions in the box. Rice needs to make the correct runs later on. Nwaneri needs to be in the correct position as well. And then Odegaard and Nwaneri really need to, create a lot of chances here, take shots whenever they can. That's what we'll need to do. So usually away from home in the Champions League, you want to counter-attack, but we just don't have Martinelli. We just don't have Saka. We don't have anyone to counter-attack, really. So we're just going to use what we have. So that is the formation I'm going for. And then on the bench, you'll have players like Calafiori. Maybe Calafiori can come on later on for Tierney. Maybe, if you want to replace a midfielder, Partey or Rice, Merino can come on. Up front, we just don't have too many options, really. Literally Sterling alone on the bench. So, and he's not really been, lighting up the place. So that's why I've had to just go with that one, and then hope Odegaard and Nwaneri can do the job, and then maybe you can even, bring on Merino as a number 10 later on in the game. But we don't have players. The players we'll have on the bench defenders as well. So you'd have maybe to bring Zinchenko in the forward areas as well. Lewis Kelly maybe the same, but that is the formation I have. Let me know what you guys make of that formation. We can't just keep playing a 4-3-3. If you play a 4-3-3, who are we going to use? Are we going to have Sterling on the left again? Are we going to have Merino up front again? Trossard has not looked good at all on the left side. Odegaard does not look good in the number 10 position. So change things. Maybe give Odegaard, space on the left side. Have Nwaneri next to Odegaard, both of them. Maybe Odegaard coming back a bit to collect the ball. Just try something different. That's what I do. Prediction. Now, hopefully, don't concede 2 goals because that will be very tough. I'm not confident enough of winning this game, so I am going to go for PSV 1, Arsenal 1. So hopefully, we do the job at home with a 1-0 or 2-1 or something. So PSV 1, Arsenal 1. I'm going to go for Trossard to score a goal. 1-1 draw. If you can get a win, well and good. If you can keep a clean sheet, that would be fantastic. But we haven't done that a lot so far this season away from home. So PSV 1, Arsenal 1. That is my prediction. That is my formation. Let me know what you make of it. Are you confident? Do you think we're going to lose? Do you think you're going to win? Any changes to the formation? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.